we go, another episode of Off the Record, and it's the final edition here of the show here in 2025, 2026. And here to chat with us about his rookie year in the OHL, and a pretty fine one at that, is Otters forward Tyler Cooper. Coop, thanks so much for taking some time.
It's an honor, Trav. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Great to have you here. And let's jump right into where we are right now and where you have been over the last 24 hours, because last night in Niagara, you had a little dental work done, shall we say.
Yeah, it was definitely tough play, My mom was pretty at me, but I didn't wear a mouth guard, so now I learned lesson. So the play kind of was the puck went to the defenseman. I stuck my stick out to try to block it. It hit off my stick, and then it hit me in the mouth.
Oh.
Which I kind of thought about. If it didn't hit my stick, it went right to my mouth. It couldn't have been a lot worse.
Probably, yeah. But then again, that deflection off the stick just.
Yeah. I know, it was tough. I was like, oh no, because at first I didn't think anything really happened, and then I was holding my hands to my mouth, and I was like, oh no, something's not there.
Something's not right.
And then it was actually in my tongue. So yeah. It was
Yeah.
definitely tough. And then the next day, Megan picked me up at 7 a.m., went to go to the dentist, and it's all checked out now.
You're good to go, though?
Yep, I'm playing,
Playing, you're good shape. Hey, you're a hockey player, man. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You came back in the game, no? After
Yeah,
that?
I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, that's what it's all about, man. You're
Yep.
learning from Jack Hughes, right, in the gold medal game for the Olympics.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, to be honest with you. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
pretty sick, man. I mean, hey, back to right, your first game back after that, and all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
in the same spot, I guess. But
He's taking after me.
there you go, exactly. Oh my goodness, but man, it's one of those things about being a hockey player that you always kind of think about. It's in the back of your mind, but I get when you're out there with a visor. I've never played with a visor, but and the reason why I would never, even if I'm playing in Tim Quinn's Wednesday Night League, would be exactly your reasoning right there, because you never know, especially at that level, man. Those guys are swinging their sticks all around the place. You don't no control there. But no, I couldn't imagine being in that spot for you, as well as the youngest guy in this league, and gotta get it all taken care of. But hey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, this league's all about development, and I guess that kind of helps me even more, know what happens when I get a puck to the teeth. What do I do?
Yeah.
And how do I prepare myself? So.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation to be caught in, but well, hey, let's chat about how you got into the game of hockey. Growing up in Chicago area, what was that like? And your younger years playing the game.
Yeah, so my dad, he played hockey when he was younger, and then my mom played field hockey, so kind of an athletic background. And then I picked up hockey 2, 3 years old, just skating. I used to do some skating lessons a little bit, and then he started to go to 2-on-2, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty fun. And then it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously a pretty hot market when it comes to the game of hockey, right? Growing up in the Chicago area, what is the kind of the minor hockey scene like? And as you kind of grow your way through there.
It's pretty crazy, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure there's 6 teams now. I think they're going to be making 7 teams in Illinois. And it's just crazy. It keeps expanding. My team that I play for, the Chicago Reapers, they were kind of a new team, and my age group and a few other age groups kind of help them put themselves on the map, definitely advancing players and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
it's really good stuff.
100%. I imagine you're going kind of up and through Wisconsin, right? Or is it all kind of concentrated in the Chicagoland area?
There is some teams up in Wisconsin, but we usually go down there once a year to play the Wisconsin teams, and we'll go to Milwaukee to play the Milwaukee team, but it's mostly all in Chicago,
Yeah, that's nice. So then the travel's not too bad, right? In that level.
Depends. There's a team in Chicago, which, the city of Chicago, sometimes it's bad to get down there because of traffic.
Yeah.
And there's teams that are in the suburbs, my team's in the suburbs. From my rink to the team that's in Chicago, I think it's 45 minutes with traffic. So.
Not quite the 12 hours in Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh, yeah. That was something else.
Yeah.
9-day roadie. So.
100%. So you go through, and what is kind of the plan for you at your age, thinking of what that next step is like? Because you had kind of come along at a time where the NCAA rule becomes more of a reality. So, was it previously, planning to go to the USHL or going, playing in a US junior league, or was the OHL kind of in the back of your mind for you?
Well, it all kind of changed when that rule happened. When the rule happened, I was like, oh my God, like the OHL is the best development league. Like, look at the players. Like, I get to see Connor McDavid's number in the rafters every time I step on the ice. And it's just like, why not come here? It's kind of like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But before that rule, I was definitely looking to play in the United States Hockey League or the national team.
Yeah, 100%, because, it's such a different perspective, right? And for a lot of American players like yourself, the model is USHL to college, but now you can go OHL to college. And, I think the Otters have done a terrific job of building a team, that is very much progressive when it looks at, the way that, you bring guys in, because again, that model is there to allow you guys that opportunity now. So for you and for, everybody around you, having that chance to come to the OHL is huge.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just honored, and like obviously the history is like a little bit more than the United States Hockey League, going back to like Wayne Gretzky when he was on Sault Ste. Marie, just like all that stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And in the OHL, you play in front of a lot more fans than the USHL, so like especially when you go to like London, Kitchener, Windsor, like all those big places, like Erie. I'd throw Erie in there too. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. Like especially when you score, like it's fun when you hear the boos. Like I scored in London. Like I think a month ago, like I heard a lot of boos. I was like, "Oh yeah, I did that."
That's pretty sick,
pretty
isn't
cool.
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I mean, there's nothing better than walking out of Kitchener or London with a win. Like you just feel like you're
yeah.
10 feet tall.
Yep, because you just crush the heart and soul of those 9,000 fans that are
Yeah.
gonna be there.
It's unbelievable. But let's take you back to the draft. You hear your name called second round after a huge year, by the way, last year with Chicago Reapers. Talk me through, the draft conversations and, what it's like being a second round pick and having the opportunity to make the team coming out of camp.
Yeah, I definitely talked to a few teams, and then Erie kind of popped up, and they kind of called me. Like I talked to them a little bit, and then the draft was actually pretty stressful, to be honest with you, because like this is the first big year of like the American players that want to come to the OHL, and like there's been some history, but not that much history.
Yeah.
But and then Erie kind of took a chance on me, and I was like, I'm grateful for them. So kudos to them.
Yeah, 100%. It's again a unique situation that, again, as you mentioned, it's the first year. So many guys that maybe wouldn't have wanted to make the jump now have the opportunity to do so, and being that first draft year, and you being kind of amongst that initial class, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I'm just honored.
Yeah.
Just honored to be drafted and be in the OHL.
So you make the team out of camp. Talk me through the adjustment level, for those first handful of days in training camp to that season opener, and what it's like getting adjusted to the level of the game here in this OHL.
To be completely honest, it's a grind. It is so hard. Like I knew it'd be hard, but I didn't know it'd be this hard. Like I think it was like my first 40 games in, I wasn't really clicking. Like I didn't really like I'm used to last year I was getting tons of points. Like this year I'm not really getting anything going. But you just gotta stick to the process. That's kind of the biggest thing.
Yeah, you always hear the jump from minor midget to the OHL is so difficult, especially for, again, you just turned 16 a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, like my body's not developed as some of the other guys. Like you can maybe tell on ice, like I might get pushed up a puck or two, but like that's the biggest thing in summer for me. Like I just gotta get bigger and all that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. That's a huge, thing for you. And again, so much time still at this level to be able to make that development. And, those first handful of games, right? Talk me through, again, that adjustment level, and kind of, was there like a welcome to the OHL moment for you?
Yeah, so we are actually at practice. We were doing like this one-on-one drill, and I'd cut to the middle of the ice, and Garrett Frazier was on the team at the time and just hit me, and I got a concussion right away. So I was like, all right, here we are. And then I missed the first 2 games of the year. And then
That's right.
I got to play against Kitchener, and I think it was their home opener. And I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Pretty legit.
I'm not playing in like rinks now. Now I'm playing in arenas with fans. Like, oh, this is legit.
Yeah, Friday night at the Odd, pretty cool place to be. And to
it's
make
pretty
your OHL debut there is probably pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, it was really cool.
And then the next night you come back here and you beat London in overtime.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, like playing like possibly the most two historical teams in
Yeah.
the OHL. You know.
Yeah, when you think OHL, there's a few teams that come to mind for me: Peterborough, London, Kitchener, Windsor. I'd even put Erie in that conversation. I think especially you look at recent history and the amount of guys that are in the NHL now. This
And now you got
organization.
Schaefer in that history
Yeah,
too,
you had
what he
Schaefer.
did in
What he's
Gross.
doing, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I always joke with him. So I was an intern a couple of years ago, and I got to call his first OHL goal, filling in. And Sean, my old broadcast partner, who you wouldn't have met, I would always just hang out. Hey, I called Shafe's first OHL goal.
That's sick.
That was a pretty cool. That was a pretty cool in Niagara as well, where we just were. So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. And yeah, to see where he is, gone. Have you gotten to meet him at all, or any?
When I got drafted,
He was here
yeah.
when we had the like thing up in the club level,
yeah,
right?
the Otters kind of wanted all the draft picks to come up, and Kerry Terrans and Matthew Schaefer were actually hurt, so I kind of meet them, talk to them a little bit, get to know them a little bit, which I thought was so cool. Looking at back then, he was possibly first rounder, projected, who knows, but now he's first rounder, he almost made the Olympics in his first year. He's playing a lot of minutes, he's probably having a blast.
Not bad, man. First overall pick, and he's just the nicest kid, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Just unbelievable dude.
Sounds like a big family man too.
Yeah,
I've seen stuff on social media and stuff.
He's
It's
just
pretty cool.
the coolest guy, and he's just aura is a word the kids throw around these days, which I guess be in that conversation. But that he's got it. That it factor, he's got it, and
He's
you
just
just.
the alpha.
Yeah, he commands a room when he walks in it, and he's just the most happy, jolly kid of all time.
Yep.
And one heck of a hockey player. It's a shame he only got to play about a full season's worth of games in the OHL, because last season, if he played more than 17, he would have had, maybe not 100 points as a defenseman, but it would have been up there. It would have been close,
Yep.
because he was absolutely dominant in those 17 games that he did play from, November, late October into early December before the World Juniors. And man, just what a player. So much fun to watch.
100%.
And obviously, an exciting young group for you, but you got your first OHL goal this season. Talk me through that play and, what that moment was like for you.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We were playing against Brantford, who's obviously going for it this year. They have a pretty good team. And, I think we were losing by a lot, but, I kind of, stuck with it, and then the puck went to the point, and I was right place, right time, got a nice tip, and I was like, oh, finally, I guess people call the monkeys off my back now. So I was like, let's go. And, I feel in those, 40 or so games where I haven't scored, I kind of, lost, the feeling of scoring. And right when I got that, I was like, oh, I can do this. Come on, give me some more. So.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, right, to go from, 50, 60 goals last season to the OHL, where you're really having to I don't want to say work a little bit harder for it, but you know what I mean? Kind of, it doesn't come as naturally maybe per se in the OHL.
Yeah, it's a different process in the OHL. You gotta really buy in on the details of the game a little bit more. I feel this year, my play away from the puck has been so much better. Just developed, because if you watch my games last year, I kind of had the puck a lot more than I do now, so I could just develop my game, and now I'm getting a few more goals. So
How important was that first goal for you to again say, hey, I can do it at this level? And again, you get that monkey off your back, and you're able to, again, you've added on it, and your game is just it looks to me, again, from my however hundreds of feet I am away perspective, that you've developed a ton, and you're starting to maybe look a little bit more comfortable with this level.
yeah, well, my confidence level definitely rose, and I kind of stuck to the process. I was having talking to the coaches more. The staff's been really good to me, and just getting to know what he wants, what he expects of me, what I can do to buy into that, and then hopefully get more and more and more.
Yeah, and able to, you're getting top power play minutes as well. How important is that for your game and, being a part of that unit?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. You got some pretty good players on that. So it's kind of just I just read off them, and we're all skilled players. We can find a guy. It's all penetrate and dish. So
Yeah, 100%. That's the style. And hey, when you're doing that enough, the puck's tickling the twine. So I got to ask you about your goal last night too as well. Design play off the face-off, right? When the puck to you, you just let it rip.
Well, I guess I got to shout out Keenan. Keenan kind of called that play to me, and then Murray did a pretty good draw. Like, I think his first swipe, he kind of missed on it, but he like stuck with it, got it back to me, put it on a platter.
Yeah, I'm not one to pat myself on the back, but I will say in that moment I'm like, hey, I'm like, so you got Murray, and of course when you're on radio you got to really paint a picture. So Murray digs in for the face-off, Tyler Cooper just hanging out top of the circle. I'm like, I think the play here just is to win the puck back to him, fire the shot, and that's ended up what happened. It went in the back of the net. So I was pretty fired up when that one went in because I'm like, you know what, like. I was able to kind of see at least what maybe a little bit of the thought process was.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty cool to get that goal. Like, especially since my last goal was, I think, 8 games ago and 10 games ago. Like, just kind of just keep building and building.
Yeah, 100%. But again, the more you build, the more those goals are going to come. And again, like you mentioned, the bigger you get, the more kind of acclimated to this league you get. Those are just they're going to come more naturally, right? It's the fascinating thing about watching this league again, and just the progression of rookies to their 17-year-old year to their 18-year-old year. It's just like it almost like you flip a switch sometimes. Malcolm Spence, another honor, rookie year, not amazing, right? But then you come into the second year, okay, he's getting better. Then that third year, just bam, like it's just a light switch flips, and you start to really see, these guys. There's a big reason why these guys are picked where they are, right?
Yeah.
So, and for you, obviously, a really exciting group of young guys. You and Jake Murray, I know, pretty good buddies down there. Talk me through, how close you guys are in terms of the youth on this team.
Yeah, like we definitely got a lot of players that are trying to come back next year, which is obviously really good because you want to make a playoff push next year. And like we're all just really good teammates. Like, we all love each other. Like we all want to go out to eat after practice. Like, want to hang out some more. And this is like I feel like this is like how you build the foundation to winning.
Yeah, 100%. I think Ken Peroff has said it multiple times. Like, the teams that win in the OHL are the teams that would do anything for the guy next to them, and you certainly get a lot of those vibes from this group.
Yeah, just like look at the Olympics. Like, Canada, U.S. Like, Canada obviously had a great team, but like U.S. kind of like bought in. Like, they're a family. Like, not saying Canada wasn't a family, but they're just more of a family.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That brotherhood, if you will, kind of adds that extra element. That's that little push you need over the line to get the job done, and you could certainly see that being built here in Erie. Again, you mentioned just how close you guys all are, and again, that goes a long way when it comes to building a team. And obviously, you look at kind of the relationship that again you have with some of these young guys. Who's maybe been an older guy that has kind of taken you under their wing a little bit to kind of get you acclimated to this OHL? I know it's kind of wild because you look at the locker room, at least as it sits now, one of the more experienced OHL players is a guy like Lucas Ambrosio.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like,
second year in the league.
yeah, he's probably got the most games under his belt, maybe on our team.
Possibly. I believe he does. He's over. He's 106, I think he is currently. If I was just doing the game notes for tomorrow's game as we see it earlier on today, so that number a little more fresh in mind. But he might be the only one in triple digits on the team.
It's pretty cool
in the OHL, because of course you look at a guy like Andrew Kuzma who's played at various junior levels. For years, Jackson Schouten, guys that have been around, but not games in the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah. Well, so going back to your question, like, I'd say off ice, kind of like how Gabriel Frasca kind of took it, and then like on ice, like I remember like I just watched Dylan Edwards, what he do like after practice, and just like, all right, like I can have that's my bag, like I can do this stuff, and then like. Now Trevino's kind of taken that captain role, and like I think he's been a great captain. Like,
unbelievable. One of the just the best humans you'll ever meet.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. He's always trying to do stuff for the community. Like, I really admire that.
Yeah, and again, that's something that again goes a long way. And again, you set that example for when you're in that role, right, of being an older guy, a leadership guy. In the next couple of years, you kind of think back of what Tristan Trevino and another guy who's going to be back next year as well. It's so important to again have that foundation set.
Yep, 100%. The foundation's the biggest part if you want to win.
Yeah, for sure. So let's step away from the rink a little bit and let's talk a little bit about growing up in Chicago, one of the best American cities there is. What was life like there for a young Tyler Cooper in Chicago?
So I actually live in the suburbs.
Okay.
But so the suburbs is like so nice. I feel like Like it's kind of like it kind of gives you like that Erie feel with Lake Erie. So like I'm kind of just always on Lake Michigan. Like I love going to the beach, just hanging out there. And then when we go down to Chicago, we try to catch the Blackhawks games.
Nice.
It's always packed house there. Like when I got back from Christmas break to Chicago, like I went down to watch a game. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty cool rink. I've never been, but it looks huge on TV.
Yep, 100%. It's
Like,
really big.
it's one of the bigger NHL rinks, pretty sure. I know Montreal's the biggest.
Yeah, that's why I call it the Madhouse.
Yeah.
So,
Madhouse on Madison, right?
yep.
Yeah, that's the. Were you were probably no, you were probably around and watching games when they were winning cups, right? In the early to mid 2010s.
Yes, but I don't really remember them. So my
That's wild. And oh my goodness, I remember Patrick Kane's goal against Philly in 2010. Like it was yesterday. Like that doesn't feel like that long. I guess 2010 though was 16 years ago. You're
Yeah.
what are you? 09?
yeah, I'd be 1 year
Oh
old.
my goodness, man. Oh, crazy.
Yep.
But again, yeah, those early.
Yeah, I remember my dad just telling me stories. Like we used to have season tickets, and this is the first year we don't have season tickets. Like he'd always try to go to the playoff games. Like he grew up like watching the Blackhawks go
Yeah.
to games, and he kind of like brought me to tons of games when I was younger, and like just brought me up.
Get you into the game of hockey as well, right?
Yeah.
No better place to again observe what you want to be by seeing guys at the top level do it.
Yeah, like it was so cool watching Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews. Like I watched a little bit of Hossa, but I wish I could have watched a little bit more. Like he was dominant. Duncan Keith. Oh,
Yeah.
So.
Brent Seabrook on the back end.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, those are Corey Crawford in net. Those
Yep.
were I remember like those teams very very well. Growing up and as a Penguins guy, but never really crossed paths in the cup. Well, never did cross paths in the cup, but yeah, it was always fascinating again. Seeing those teams. But now obviously a lot of exciting young players there as well. And I know you're a big Bears fan as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Bears fan. Obviously, they had a pretty good year this year.
Yeah.
But hopefully they keep going and like keep developing like us, kind of, and get over that hump.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you kind of liken what this team could be like next year to Bears team. Maybe a team with
Yeah.
not a ton of expectations, but some exciting young pieces. Making that big stride forward. Have a great year, and then that next year you're just all in, right? So
100%.
fascinating to maybe think of it. That's a pretty good metaphor and pretty good, thinking of what this team could be. And obviously fascinating too, the new stadium talks with the Bears as well, which is
Yeah, I know.
I imagine a hot topic there in the Chicago area.
Yeah, I guess it is like moving to Indianapolis maybe, and
Or like into Indiana, right? Just
Yep.
across the border.
yep, like
I don't know, man.
it'd be tough, but
Because there was a plan, I think, to do it out like by the airport at
Yes.
one point,
there
and then they just
there was like a horseback raking.
yeah, or was it
Horseback.
Arlington Heights or something
Yeah,
like that.
in
Yeah,
Arlington Heights, it might go there, but it might not. But like, I think it'd be tough to go there because there's not a lot of space or parking, and like I'm like 30 minutes from there, so
oh, that'd be pretty good for you then. You'd be nice and close. Be able to
Yep.
go to more games.
yep.
But I don't know. I feel like the renovation, man, in 03. Again, it was before your time, but the place looked a lot cooler back in. You see the
Yeah.
highlights of like the Fog Bowl and all those legendary games with the 80s Bears and like man, Soldier Field, great. And then like I don't know the renovation like kind of like took the soul a little bit.
Yeah.
But oh well, it'll be fun to see, where they're going. But again, growing up in Chicago, do you have like a favorite Chicago spot that you enjoyed growing up, or you still enjoy going to today?
I think just going to the beach.
Just going to the beach, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Although you could do that here, even though.
I know, like,
Although there's beaches
I've done
downtown.
it like once
Okay.
in Erie.
It's tough though because of the weather.
Yeah. So you kind of got to get it like right when you come here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right during training camp, if you get a little. Although that weekend's always packed.
Yeah.
There's not really much time
Yeah,
to
there's a lot of stuff to do.
do much there. But no, that's pretty cool. There's like beaches downtown in Chicago, isn't there?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
that's cool.
Like, so my dad and my mom used to live in Chicago. Like, I remember they told me like they just like wake up and they go walk and like, and it'd be so beautiful. They'd say like they go for runs. Like, there'd always be tons of people. Like, they're all so nice, just like so cool. And then I think it's pretty cool how it goes through Chicago too. So like obviously they're gonna do it green for
Oh yeah,
St. Patrick's
yeah,
Day.
that's
It's, like,
sick.
that'll be pretty cool. So
Yeah, I always enjoy just walking on the river. There is always awesome, and I've only been a handful of times. I make it sound like I've been there like a million,
lot.
but I've been there. I've been there a few times, but memory just sticks, and most of those times have been recently to go to a couple of ball games. But you're a Sox guy, right?
Yep, White Sox.
So are you a big baseball guy or not really?
Um, I've been trying to get into it. Like,
Well, it's been tough to get into the White Sox over the last couple
yeah,
of
I know. Yeah,
years.
we kind of went in the rebuild phase for a little bit, but hopefully, like, we're making some moves to get back where.
That's a fun. It's a unique area, but it's a fun ballpark there.
Yeah, very unique area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but fun ballpark. I always enjoy the one game that I went there. But no, that's awesome. But again, staying in the U.S., I imagine, has to be kind of nice, right? Because there is definitely an adjustment. But you mentioned Erie, not too dissimilar to where you're from.
Yeah, it's so nice to be in the U.S. Just like it's kind of like the little things about being in the U.S. Like if you go on the highways, like if you look at the signs, like they're different. Like
Yeah.
there's green here, blue in Ontario. Like just like the little things like that, like makes you feel like home.
Yeah, for sure. And like I don't know, I feel like the traffic just flows a little better here. It might just be me, but no, I agree. I imagine again for you as a young guy having to move to a new country would have been quite interesting. It always fascinates me. But again, you mentioned Erie is somewhat is not too dissimilar to where you grew up, right? You got the water. It's obviously not a huge city, but a small like there's enough to do here. But yeah, what have you liked so far about Erie? Has there been a favorite spot for you so far in your time here, Flagship City?
I guess I've been kind of getting into the breakfast places at Erie.
Okay.
Like,
Lori's is the team classic.
yeah, I like that place. Avanti's, like, yeah.
Yeah.
The breakfast spots I think are pretty good. Up there.
Lori's is like again, I mention this every episode because every episode I feel like it gets mentioned by one of you guys. It gets passed down through the years of like Otters players, like going way back into, the McDavid DeBrincat days, even before that. Guys would go there and it gets passed down to the next generation, to the next
Yeah, I
generation.
remember my Bill had told me like when Carey was here, Carey would always
Yeah.
go to there.
Yeah, those guys, the older guys last year, big time into it. Our first ever guest was Cameron Morton, who was a captain at the time, and he was the one who brought it up. And then I asked the same question to other guys, and it just that's always the answer. That's the classic. But yeah, the breakfast spot again, because it's something you can do on a game day, and it's not going to really weigh you down.
Yep, and it's pretty good food. So
There you go.
yep.
Locked in. But what else do you like to get into in your free time away from the rink?
Golf. Like I'm okay at golf. I'm trying to help that game a little bit more. I love playing spike ball at the beach.
Okay.
And like fishing. Like last year I've kind of got off of fishing a little bit more, but like this summer I'm trying to get back into it. So that kind of stuff. And then just like I want to go to more White Sox games, hopefully in the summer. So
Yeah, that'll be pretty sick. And of course, again, it's coming up on that time, but a month away.
Yeah.
I'm fired up. Can't wait. But no, that'll be great. And again, Chicago summers, I imagine, great. Erie, kind of here in the winter, you kind of get the tail end of summer when you get in. Obviously, last year though, you had the orientation camp, so you're in a little earlier here.
Yep.
But again, not too bad places to grow up and again to really learn your trade here.
100%.
So let's kind of bring it back to the rink as we wrap this thing up here. Obviously, for you, first year in the OHL, kind of walk me through your thoughts on this first year, kind of where you are now versus maybe where you were on night one.
Well, on night one, I remember like I was used to getting so much ice time, and now like it was slimmed down. I was like, all right, I kind of got to figure this out. So like you kind of got to just like talk to like everybody around you and like ask them like how they did it, like what did they do to get out of that hump, and they all just said like you just got to like buy into the process of just like being the first guy here, last guy, and just like shooting pucks when nobody isn't, like doing like stretching, like making sure you're on bedtime, eating good stuff, like just be very disciplined.
Yeah, 100%. And, what do you want to get out of these last handful of games here in this season?
Just end off well, hopefully come in next year on a very high note, and just keep her going.
Yeah, and, what are some goals you have for yourself as you look forward to, again, this summer? And then, being a part of something, what does it mean to you to be a part of what's being built here in Erie?
Oh, it's pretty cool, like Dave Brown kind of talked about like the future, and like he kind of named me a few times. I was like, oh, like, thank you. Like, it's an honor. Like, hopefully I can be a small part of that future.
Well, that's an exciting future, and we're fired up to have you a part of it, Coop. Thanks so much for joining us, man.
All right, thank you.
All right. That will do it for another edition of the Off the Record podcast and the conclusion to our new season. Big thank you to everybody for bearing with us through all the changes here, and hopefully everybody enjoying the new format of the show. And we will be back with you coming up next season. For Tyler Cooper, I'm Trevor Cabella. Thanks so much for joining us all season long on the official podcast of the Erie Otters, Off the Record.